Today we're going to be talking about 4 different crops that we have growing. We've got carrot, we've got micro chive, celery, and then one of our favorites, the Pea Tendrils. Can I just do it from the? Can I do it from the top? So here we have a crop of carrots. Carrot is going to be something that we want to use on anything, obviously, that we're trying to get just a little bit of extra carrot flavor. This is a crop that takes about 21 days to grow to get these true leaves. We're about day 18 or so, so we're going to let these continue to go for just a couple more days till these things get really nice and defined. So here's what the true leaves look like whenever they're about developed. We want to let these get just a little bit bigger. Some of these leaves are just starting to appear, so we want to let them come all the way out and get really nice and defined. So we don't want them overgrown, we don't want them too small, we don't want them too big. So this is right about perfect. Next up, we have a crop of chive. This is one of my favorite to grow because it does yield heavy and it's a pretty fast grower. You're looking at probably about anywhere between 14 and 13 days or so. And we really want to be on it with these because what'll happen is, unlike other microgreens, like obviously chive don't have true leaves. And so what we want to keep an eye on is, you know, you're going to see seeds all over the canopy of the crop. These aren't bugs. This isn't rot. This isn't anything to be alarmed of. It's just kind of inevitable. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that whenever the seed falls off the top of the chive, that we harvest it. Because as you can see right here is after the seed falls off the chive starts to break down. So this is what we want to avoid. You'll get to a point where, you know, a lot of the chives will still be very fresh and right where you want them to be usable. But there'll be these stringy chives that are mixed in. So it's just going to make it really difficult for the chef. They're going to have to pick through the chives. If you were to want to use a chive, like, are you going to, like, if you were going to try and garnish something, are you going to want to use something that looks nasty like that? Or are you going to want to use something, even if it has the seed on it, it looks hearty. Like, that looks like it belongs on the food. That looks like it's messed up. For somebody that's enjoying the dish, they might not catch on to that. But for a chef that's trying to put together a really nice plate and they're in a really high-end restaurant, like, that's going to drive them crazy, you know? And if they have to go through a whole container and pick through the good chives versus the bad chives, they're going to get to a point where they just either want to buy chives from somebody else or they're just going to cut the chives and go to using something different. So we want to make sure that we're catching these right whenever they're ready and making sure that they're harvested at peak freshness so that we can get them into our chefs. This is going to be a crop that we don't want to use on just anything. This is going to be something that we want to use on something that we're really going for a really strong chive or onion flavor. So maybe like a fish dish, sushi, something like that. So next we have celery microgreens. As you can see here, some of the true leaves are starting to appear. That's exactly what we want to see, but we still need to let them grow for about another week because we're not seeing even true leaf growth all the way across the entire canopy. So typically we will grow a lot of celery during the holiday season, right around Thanksgiving and Christmas time, whenever stocks are being made, whenever we've got turkey on the table. As we grow these, we want to make sure that we have our hurricane fans on, that our stems are getting really nice airflow, because if these suckers get even just like a drip of water on them, they're done. These are super delicate. We want to be like, that is a crucial point. We want to make sure that the canopy is completely dry before we harvest these. But as long as our true leaves are really nice and we're seeing them all the way across the tray, we should be good to harvest, and our chefs should be pretty happy with us. So lastly, we have Pea Tendrils. Ever since I found the Pea Tendrils, I've pretty much stopped growing the tall straight shoots just because these are everybody's favorite. And they're my favorite for a lot of reasons. They grow fast. They only take about 14 days to grow. They yield super heavy. So off one tray, we can get 2 8-ounce containers, for instance. That's a big win. And then they hold up really well. So in kitchens that get super hot, that can't typically use microgreens because they break down too fast, this is going to be a great candidate. The flavor of these is kind of like a sweet sugar snap pea that you would find in your salad. A lot of times I see chefs using these in two different ways. I either see them making a nest to put the meat on top of, or putting the meat down and then putting the nest on the top. So this is a variety that I've really seen my cells grow with, and I highly recommend that you guys give this a shot. Guys, thank you so much for taking a look at some of the crops that I'm working on right now. I really hope that some of these details will help you out and help to inspire you to grow some new varieties. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one.